Highness, Excellencies, and distinguished guests, thank you. Good afternoon. We're going to go from the need for speed to the need for a glass of water, because sometimes you need a glass of water. My company, Aqua Sciences, is a case study, really. It's a work in progress. And we launched in the United States, and we're now branching out into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We've been embraced. And I'd like to start this presentation with a short video.
Tonight with breaking news from the Caribbean, a major disaster may be unfolding right now in Haiti.
But the lack of fresh water has been a huge challenge until now, when this piece of science fiction arrived, owned by a U.S. company. In the back of this semi, something akin to a reverse vaporizer. It sucks the moisture out of the air and produces clean drinking water.
Water is the most important element to support life. When disaster strikes, the water grid and transportation infrastructure are often disrupted, and water supplies are quickly depleted. 1.2 billion people lack daily access to potable water. This is the Aqua Sciences solution. Aqua Sciences uses self-contained mobile plants that make water from air virtually anywhere. The emergency water station produces up to 2,400 gallons of water per day and provides drinking water for up to 4,800 people per day. Water quality exceeds U.S. EPA, World Health Organization, and U.S. military specifications. It is fully off the grid and does not require outside water or power to generate drinking water. It works in virtually any environment, even in desert conditions. Operating cost is typically well below the cost of distributed bottled water. The EWS is powered by self-contained electrical generators or power from sources including solar, geothermal, and waste heat. It is specifically designed for transport by air, sea, or land in an ISO marine container. It can be built for daily water needs of less than 100 people to several thousands.
The one thing that we have not been short on the entire time we're here was water. Scott and his guys had water up there all day long, all night long for both our staff and our patients, and because of that we were able to keep going.
Oh, can we go back one? Sorry. So President Clinton this morning changed my whole speech around. He spoke about Haiti, he spoke about water, and I'd like to address some of the issues regarding the water industry, the water crisis facing the world today, how it relates to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and how it relates to the whole world. So we all know that there's a crisis in water, and that crisis is not only in places that you would consider dry, such as deserts, but you have it whenever the infrastructure is impaired, as in Haiti during an earthquake. You have the problem in hurricane zones. Our company moved from California to Florida because of the hurricanes hitting the state of Florida. And if you think about Africa, which is a very intense example, the picture on the left is the problem. The water supplies have dried up, and people have been looking for the ground for the solution. Sometimes, though, if you zoom out and you look at the problem from outside, the picture on the right is the Earth. And if you look at the picture of the Earth, the entire planet is covered with an atmosphere. And in that atmosphere is anywhere from 1% to 4% of water. As a matter of fact, there's so much water in the atmosphere that at any given time, there's a 10-year supply of human use in that atmosphere. But to date, it's been untapped. And what I'm proud to tell you is it's true. Water can be extracted from the air in good quantity at a low price, better, cheaper, improved than traditional sources where there is no infrastructure. How do we do it? Well, you all have seen dehumidifiers and air conditioners that drip water. And that's the old way of making water from the air. And basically, what that does is condense water. And that system only works in humid environments. We figured out that you could extract water from the air in great quantities using salts. And the benefit of salt is you weren't dependent on humidity, meaning that you could generate water even in dry environments. So we developed the science and developed our prototype, started our company a few years ago with 3 people, and we found out that the US Army was looking for a solution to develop drinking water for the soldiers in the field. It turns out that the US Army was spending 30 to 40% of its sustainment and logistics budget on water. Literally billions of dollars a year were being spent on water for the troops. And it became impractical and unreasonable to truck the water in because a water tanker looks like a fuel tanker, and it became a target. And also, the supply lines were not regular. So, sure enough, when we launched, the Army was putting out a competitive bid for water systems. And we competed against 10 massive companies. Talk about competition. United Technology, some major players, and we were a little 3-person company. We submitted our bid thinking that there was no way we would win, and we won that bid, and that was with the Boeing Corporation. So our first contract was with one of the sponsors of the GCF here, the Boeing Corporation. We delivered our machine to the US Army, and after delivering the prototype, they came to us and said, okay, we want a contract with you, and we've been a supplier to the US Army for the last 5 years. After winning that bid, we won a follow-up bid with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, to develop emergency water systems that you saw deployed in the Haitian earthquake. So, in the aftermath of the Haitian earthquake, we learned a lot. The water systems in the country totally failed. There was not enough water for the people. Hundreds of thousands of people had died. Over 1 million people were injured, and the largest hospital in the country had no water supply. We got an emergency call from the Army saying, please, we need to get one of your machines, which was designed for hurricanes, down to Haiti. And we shipped that machine over right in the aftermath of the Haitian earthquake. We were there for almost a month. We donated our services and the machine, and we supplied all of the water for the largest hospital in the country, University Hospital in Port-au-Prince. It was an amazing experience for an entrepreneur and for a company, because you think of a company's mission as doing well, making money, doing something commercial, but here was an opportunity for us to do good also. And I'm proud to report that the doctors and staff at the hospital called our machine the Miracle Machine. The water was used for drinking, for surgical scrubbing, for baby formula, for cleaning wounds. And the lead doctor from Johns Hopkins University, who is a State Department consultant that goes to all the hotspots around the world, head of the emergency medicine department at Johns Hopkins, published independently of us that our technology and our staff, our people on the ground, probably saved more lives than anything he did as a physician. So we had our first battle testing this year. So people came to us and said, okay, you can make water in Haiti, but can you make water in dry conditions? So with the US Army, we've been developing systems, this system, to work in the driest of deserts. So if you look at that chart, the top line, the top red line, this is called a psychrometric chart, and it measures temperature and humidity and shows how much water can be produced. That top red line is basically what traditional dehumidification systems can extract water at. And as you see the dry desert environment bar underneath it, you could see that traditional dehumidification cannot make water in dry desert environments. If you look at the bottom red line, that's where we tested in the US Army's humidity chambers as being able to make water in those conditions. So basically you take a situation like Riyadh where no dehumidifier would work, and We can make water in Riyadh. As a matter of fact, we shipped our first machine here over a year ago, and we made water in Riyadh in the middle of the summer, and it was pretty miraculous. Most recently, in conjunction with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we were invited to participate in a pilot program with Saudi Aramco on an oil rig near the Empty Quarter. We deployed our water system there, the new generation, and you could see this machine looks quite different than the machine that went to Haiti. This machine contains innovations that were developed after the Haiti machine, that were developed in conjunction with our research with the U.S. Army, and allowed us to produce water in places that were previously unattainable to produce. So we operated there for a full rig cycle, meaning from the day that the rig was dropped off at the site, during the whole drilling process to the day that the rig was pulled out. And there were 100 workers on that rig site, and we satisfied all their drinking water requirements for that entire rig cycle. And we met the camp's drinking water needs. It was a successful pilot, and I'm pleased to report that we've been invited to go back with Aramco for a phase 2 pilot. Now, I want to say something. This is not a replacement for desalination. This is a great application for a place where you don't have existing infrastructure, where you need to move infrastructure. This is off-the-grid water, off-the-grid infrastructure that you could move around as needed. So in terms of the word competition, I think competition to me means not fighting and trying to win, but finding your place, finding the right place, the right niche for your business. And our goal here is to supplement and enhance the water-making ability of the water operators around the world. Now, we've won a lot of accolades, done no PR. We were voted the #1 Environmental Innovation of the Year in the Wall Street Journal's Tech Innovation Awards, Time Magazine's Best Medical Invention, and that gave us some fantastic validation. But going back to Haiti, the best validation we could have gotten is that we wound up saving thousands of lives in the process. Again, the water quality is excellent. It's been tested to meet and exceed all drinking water standards, World Health Organization, US EPA, US military specifications. And so going back to what President Clinton said today, he really inspired me. And he basically said that Saudi Arabia should be the capital of water technology. I learned an interesting fact. Saudi Arabia is the leader in world desalination, produces more desalination than any other country in the world. And I'm pleased to report that we are the first, Saudi Arabia is the first country outside of the US where we've deployed our technology. We call it the Frank Sinatra business strategy. Frank Sinatra, in his famous song, New York, New York, said, "If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere." And our strategy is if we can make water in the desert in Saudi Arabia, we can make it anywhere in the world. So I'm pleased and thrilled that we could be launching here. And I wanted to thank Sagia, the National Guard, and everyone that we're working with, and especially the people who put this event on today. Thank you very much.